Welcome back, friends. This is Rohit Devangan, again presenting you a very important topic or one of the essential building block of stock trading and stock understanding how or where the money is flowing, right? So today we'll be covering turnover. It's part of price action, and as usual, what we do is we'll give you basic idea about what that is, and then how to screen that particular concept using our custom screener in TopStockResearch or Stock AIO. So turnover. So first of all, before jumping into what turnover is, what are the common techniques used to find buzzing stocks, right? So the most important one is to find top gainers where the maximum money is made, or basically highly traded stocks, or basically combination of these three things, right? All of them are perfect, very, very commonly used, and it makes good sense to use them. But all three of them or misses out on a very important idea is basically where the money is going and how much money is going in or out of a stock. That's number one. Number two is where the money is going vis-a-vis the other stocks, right? It can be same sector, it can be same market cap level, or whichever yardstick you want to measure, right? So let's take a small example to understand what I'm trying to say in a slightly better way. Let's go to our market screener. In market screener, we have price and volume. So if we see the top gainers, out here, right? So the top gainer here on maybe I'll increase it to NSE 500. The top gainer here is IIFL, which is about 14%. When you see the turnover is about 722, okay, the turnover is 722 crores. Now, if you see some of the stocks over here, if you see this stock ARENM, right? So even though it has gone up by 10% or 9.68%, its turnover is more than double of that, more than double of IFL. So let's try to sort these things into a slightly different way, right? Let's try to sort it on turnover, right? So if you go with the turnover, the maximum turnover on last business day was on Infosys, and it grew by about 4.17%. The turnover was about 3.6 thousand crores. Right. The next stock which was there is, even though turnover was very high, its percentage change was 0.87. Now, what does it tell? So, price change is a great thing, right? But it tells that, that how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. We'll have more examples when we proceed into the real world, right? Or a real example using turnover and our custom screener, right? So this is typically a way of looking at it. When you look at perhaps by percentage change only, right? So percentage change only, we have seen some of the stocks which are here. If we scroll down a bit more, maybe this stock which has grown by 5% only, right? Its turnover was far more than the one which is IFL, and so on and so forth, which we'll cover in our subsequent session. So that was more about getting an idea of a top gainer, highly traded stocks and volume vis-a-vis turnover. There are other measures also to see how much market participation is. They can be in form of other indicators like price and volume, which we just covered, money flow index, check-in money flow, accumulation distribution, on balance volume. There are a lot of these things. Again, the two disadvantage of it. Number one is it gives information of a stock at that point of time. It doesn't give you a clear picture of the money flowing in vis-a-vis others, right? So, and number one. Number two is basically a lot of users feel little uncomfortable with the complexity of technical indicator. They want to go really simple, right? So it doesn't mean that these are not great. These are excellent. But there's another way where we can look at it is turnover. So let's jump into turnover. What is turnover? Turnover is very, very simple. It is price into volume. It's nothing new. It's a very old concept. It's just that we are introducing you in such a way that it appeals to you and you may start using it, right? So it simplifies total money in out. It gives you perspective where money is flowing, and then again it can be used on any asset class. So it's very simple. Number one, very logical, because if the price is going up and with good turnover, that means it's better market participation. If the price is going up with poor turnover or lower turnover than previous days, then that's where the smart money is coming out and weak money is going in. That smart money concept can be applied over here. It gives you big picture. It can be used on any time interval. It can be 5 minutes chart, or it can be 1 day chart, it can be 1 week chart, or any period you can use it on, and on any asset class. It can be on commodities, it can be on forex, it can be on any other asset class like stocks. Okay. Like what we do is we jump into turnover screeners in TSR. So where it is, you go over here, go to custom screener. In the custom screener, you'll see that in the price action, which is the default selection of custom screener, there's turnover. When you click on turnover, you have an option. Now, let's say you want to trade only on those stocks where the turnover is, let's say, 500 crores. Right. So you don't want to go into stocks where the liquidity is low, right? Turnover will give you a very good liquidity as well, right? In terms of total money, volume will give you only one picture. Turnover will give you two pictures, right? Price and volume both. So it's a very good idea. So let's search on NSE 500 stocks. These are the stocks where the turnover is highest, right? So when you look at this, again, Infosys is highest. And then when we also see, so total number of stocks which are matching this criteria is about 64 stocks out of 500, right? Now, if we want to see that, we want to get only gainer, right? So where the close is higher than the previous close, right? Where latest close is above previous close. When we run this, so we'll get only those stocks where the money has come in, more money has come in compared to more money has gone out. So when you look at this, so they are out of 64, 60 are there. So again, we'll sort by turnover. So we'll see that, the first stock which was there, Infosys, you'll see that there's an excellent movement. The chart itself tells you that there's a pretty decent movement out here, which is few percentage points. The number two stock which is there's much lesser movement out here in terms of percentage, right? But the turnover is almost same. So this will give you a very different perspective that, which stock is moving higher with what volume. Right. So when you look at some of the other turnovers over here, right, maybe or maybe when we look at companies above 500 crore turnover and which has gone in red, that means the close is less than the previous close. So what we can do is we can go for below previous close, run it. So you'll find that there are three stocks where turnover was high, but eventually ended up in a lower price than the previous price. So when you look at this, it will give you a very different perspective. All the three stocks which are there, high turnover in the sense of turnover which was above 500 crores, but it moved down. So that means the bias is slightly on a negative side. More money was pulled out compared to what money has gone in the system, right? So it's that combination. So you can look at absolute number or you can look at other things. Let's try to look into a different way. Maybe I'll just increase it to 100. And then what we see here is where the latest close is greater than the previous close by at least 1%. That means the price is going up, right? So let's look at this one where the turnover is more than 100 crores and the stock has gone up by at least 1%. So when you see there are few stocks which are meeting the criteria, Indian Bank, right? So it has gone up by 1%, right? No, I think I have done a mistake. From previous settings, what we had was below. So what we need to change is to above, run it, right? So you find that there are 159 stocks where turnover was more than 100 crores and the price gain is at least 1%. So when you look at this, right? So you'll find the stocks where there's a good turnover. Now, along with that, what you could also do is you can add volume also. That volume should also be greater than the previous one, which is obviously the case out here. So volume growth is at least 100, double of previous time. So out of 160 odd stocks, you get only 32 stocks where you have good money coming in, good volume, and price is also gaining, right? So sort of similar thing, price and volume is turnover, but you can also look from this perspective that, okay, we want at least this much of turnover or this much of money to be working on stock on that particular time interval. It could be daily, it could be 1 hour, or it could be weekly, right? So that will help you to give that where the money is flowing. Okay, so this is how you can use absolute value of turnover, right? So what we have is basically above, below, between, what you can always set, right? Resetting it, to see what the next point is. The next point here is turnover change in percentage. Now what I want is basically turnover to be higher than turnover, a previous turnover by at least 50%, right? So what I'll do is I'll change it to percentage. Gain is above at least 50% of previous day. That means more money is getting exchanged for this particular asset class. So when I run this, I'll find few stocks where it's about 106 stocks. So when you look at this, these are 106 stocks where more money is coming, right, compared to its previous day, right? More money is coming. Now, in this, I have an option of choosing only those stocks where the money is or where it ended up in green compared to red. So what I can do is I can go here and say that the close is greater than the previous close. So out of 106 stocks, let's see how many stocks comes. We get about 101. So these are 101 stocks where the turnover was almost at least double of the previous day, and stock ended at a price higher than the previous price. So when you look at this, so you'll find few stocks where the price is higher than the previous price. Or if you want to use it in the other way, what you can look at is the latest price is less than the previous price. So what you can do is you can go and look at stocks where the close is lower than the previous close. So you'll find that stocks where the money is moving out. So when you look at this, so you get JBM Auto. JBM Auto, so even though the volume was higher, which means the turnover was higher, but it ended up in red, huge red. So this is where somebody who like to spot, it may look like a double bottom kind of a pattern, or a triple double top kind of a pattern. Let's see how it looks like in this thing. So it's sort of a triple top or a double top, depending on how you want to see, right? That's getting formed. So the next stock is again where it has gone down with high volume. So this is the time where you exit the stock, or you can even, if you like to, you may even go for short position, right, if you can. So this is a way where you can look at the turnover change in percentage. What do we have next? Next is trending turnover. So trending turnover, again I'll go for reset, going for turnover. There's an option of trending up. Let's see that how many stocks where the turnover is continuously increasing for at least 5 days. So when you look at it, you get only one stock, Bombay Burma, where the turnover is continuously increasing for at least 5 days, right? So this is how you can say that where the more money is coming. Last 5 days was little volatile because of election results. So maybe we look at a smaller interval, maybe let's say 30 minutes interval, to see whether we get something interesting. So these are the stocks where turnover is basically continuously going up. At the same time, what we learned in the last session on OHLC trending, you can also say that turnover is going up, and the price is also continuously going up. So we can see that there are about 8 stocks. Let's see if we are lucky, we'll get a stock or 2. No, we are not. So we just change it to 3 to see if we are lucky to get any stocks. So we get a stock which is Sundaram Fastener, where turnover is going up for at least 5 days, and the price is going up by at least 3 to 4 days, right? So this is how you can filter stocks using turnover and other parameters, right? Like in any other like any other filter in custom screener, you can use one filter along with any other filter also, right? So that's a very clear example that we are looking at the trending turnover with trending price, right? So that's a very good example. Likewise, what you can do is you can look for trending down and look for a falling this thing to see where stock price is going down. So there's none which is appearing here, maybe in an hour's time, again none, maybe days time, none, right? So it purely depends on, I'm not going into all stocks because you tend to get certain stocks which are ETF, which doesn't give a very good results, but we are just having a look at Ascom. So see, it's going down, right? So it doesn't make really great sense to look at it. That's why we don't go into all stocks. We just try to look at stocks where the volume is pretty decent and the market capitalization is also decent. So we'll rely on something which NSE has created, right? Which is NSE 500. So that's generally what we try to look at. The next one is basically you can compare turnover with historical average. So basically what you can do is again resetting it, starting from a clean slate, go for turnover. there's an option where the versus average. So I want the latest turnover to be above 10 days average by at least 50%. That means I'm trying to smoothen out last few days volatility and see whether we see any results. So you see that there are quite a few stocks, 80 odd stocks, where the turnover is higher than last many days average, right? So that means this is where the buzz is. It has factored in all those volatility that was there. Of course, in this particular case, it's going down. So what we can look at is basically also where the gain is at least, or where it is growing, or the latest day growth is higher, right, than previous day, so that we get little better quality stocks. So out of 80, let's see how many we get here. We get about 76, right? So you'll get all those stocks which ended up in green, having turnover more than last 10 days of average, right? So it's nothing different, but it's a different way of looking at it. And believe me, it's a very, very correct way of looking at it. It is one of the most fundamental ways of looking at it. Rather than looking at individual stock, what you can look at is using this turnover. You can get an idea about the real money flow, where it is happening. And so you can make a more informed decision, right, compared to just looking at one single factor, which is either go for a check-in money flow. When I say those things, doesn't mean those are not important. Here, the perspective is much different. When you really compare check-in money flow, you cannot really compare with other stocks, right? Directly in terms of the money which is flowing in. Here, you get to the most fundamental part, which is the real money, right, which is coming. And obviously a lot of indicators are there which are slightly lagging. This is not lagging, this is really leading indicator, or basically on time indicator. Okay, so that's pretty much about what I wanted to cover on turnover, right? So if you have any query or any feedback, you can always, or if you want to learn more about the product, these are the where the videos are, English, Hindi, both. This is video about custom screener. At the bottom of the custom screener page, we have how to use it, again in English, Hindi, both. If you have any further query, you can request for demo. Our team will be happy to provide you those set of information. You can contact us with your query, so that our executives are well prepared, and so that within minimal time your basically requirements are fulfilled, right? So if you like this video, if you feel that our effort in spending time on this is in the correct direction, do like, share, and subscribe. Also share with your friends as much as you can, so that we get more and more viewership, and that will be a good indication that we are going in the correct direction, and will help us to create more such filters and more such presentations for you guys, right? So with that, I'm signing off, and hope to see you very soon with another very, very interesting topic, right? Till then, goodbye. See you soon. Bye.